Hello. So this is Ashley from the past, and I'm here to ask you some questions. So this is going to be really fun. So my first question is, do you look better than I do right now?
Yes. So you've learned a little bit more about how to do your eyebrows. You are, I think you're just overall a little healthier right now. We've been working on hydrating the skin, so that's been good. We're trying to prevent the wrinkles when you get old, take care of you. And then we're going to work on your teeth next. So, yeah, we're doing pretty good in that area.
And second question is, do you have a good amount of savings in the bank?
No. I wish you did, but you know what? You have learned to trust God. Like you did in the past, you've just continued to trust God and you've seen Him provide in massive, massive ways. So, no, you don't have money in the bank, but you have money in heaven. And God will continue to provide for you, and there is no need to worry about it. But I do have some plans for doing some more teacher stuff online this year, and we're pushing for publication. I know that like when the spot that you're at right now, whenever you'd ask God like what to do, He would say to write, and now it's to publish. So that's what we're working on.
All right. And I hope these are like good answers that you have. I hope I'm giving appropriate responses. How much do you weigh?
Right now you weigh 116. So I know that came down quite a bit from, I think you were around like 129, 128 when we were this age, the past. And you've had a lot of health issues, and you also don't have a very big appetite anymore. So yeah, so that's been helping a lot with the weight. And you've kind of used when you had a lot of health issues like in the hospital and stuff, that was a time where you lost weight and you've been able to keep it off. So that's good.
Okay. And let's see. Is your room fully decorated?
Yes, pretty much. So I feel weird saying you or we, but whatever. I don't know how you conduct an interview with yourself, guys. I'm not a psychopath. But so you have this lovely picture now, which you always needed a piece of artwork on the wall and that matched the bookshelf. And so there it is. This was the very last one, and it's just perfect. Everybody who comes in here says that they love that piece, so that should make you very happy. The bookshelf looks pretty nice. It's done up for Christmas right now. That needs to come down, but yeah. And then you also have a TV in your room now. Wow, right? So that's kind of cool.
Okay. Did you finish another book?
You did. So, or I did. We did. So, um, you have published I Lost My Keys in Space and Other Oddly Comforting Poems that came out in January or February of this year, 2022. Or is that right? Yes. It's been a very long year, so it's felt like 3 years, honestly. So that got done, and you've worked on several other short stories, and you also finished a short story called Killing Town, which is really, really good. And then you just finished another one called How to Slay Dragons, and we're going to work on publishing both of those.
How much did you make in sales on your books this year?
Probably like around $200. It's not a lot, you know, that you haven't pushed for anything and you've been sick. So what can I say? I've been sick. I haven't been able to help you in that area. But this year I'm going to be doing a lot more pushing for sales and working on things to kind of um, market myself better, because that's not our strength, as you know, but we're working on that.
Let's see. What art projects did you finish this year?
Well, like I said, you finished the Lost My Keys in Space. You finished, what other things did we do? Mostly this year has been a year of reading, and then also biggest thing, the newsletter. So we have a newsletter that comes out now, and it is every month. It's called For the Birds, and a lot of people have said that they really, really liked it, so that is going great. And so that would be, I would say, the biggest like art thing that you've done, even though it's not, I mean, every month that it comes out, I try to make it look as pretty as I can. So I think that's artistic. And but probably the biggest thing would be finishing keys. And then we are getting, we have a bunch of art supplies, so we are going to be working on doing art and drawing and all that kind of stuff. Painting is going to be a thing for the next year. And so we'll see how that goes.
Are you excited for the next year?
Okay, so yes, I was excited for the next year. However, right after 2019, there was a big pandemic, and that was hilarious because I had never wanted to set up an interview. Like I'd wanted to do it, but I never actually did it. I was so excited, and then like literally 2 or 3 months later, after I did this first video where you're interviewing me, there was a big pandemic, and I was like, wow, I was so looking forward to this year, and it did not pan out very well. Didn't pan out very well. That's a bad pun. But yeah, so I'm excited for this year. As you know, we kind of start our year in September, so this is more like the midpoint of the year for us. But I'm excited just to mostly to get help with my back. I'm starting to do acupuncture. I went to the hospital twice this year, so my goal is to not go to the hospital at all for the next year. And I'm hoping that within 2 years, I'm going to be completely healed. That is my goal, and I am not doing anything to hinder my healing. I am eating really good. I am trying to sleep better. I try to get rid of stressors and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens.
What was your biggest lesson from this year, from the year 2020?
Well, my biggest lesson from 2020 was expect the unexpected. We moved. We had a lot less family trauma once we got away from the situation where you're at now. So that was really good. But my biggest lesson from this past year, I think, is to be still. That was probably the biggest lesson and one of the hardest lessons. And I know that you've already endured a lot of back pain, and you're going to have more in the future, for a little bit at least. But learning how to not place your value in what you are doing, but who you are, especially who you are in Christ. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've learned this year. And it's difficult because I love to do things, and so to sit and not be able to do, or not even sit. I can't even sit. Just lay down and not be able to do anything has been really difficult. But I've also learned a lot about prayer this year. I've learned a lot about being quiet and actually sitting with God, and I think that I've learned how to have peace more. Just diving into my that sacred spot where God is. What is that called? What is it called? There was a poem. It was beautiful. I need to find it, but it's like the doorstep of your heart, and that's always ministered to me. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing that I've learned most this year.
What was your greatest joy and your greatest tragedy?
So just all the back pain that I've had. That's probably the hardest thing from this year. That's been my biggest tragedy. I did not want to go to the hospital at all, and ended up going twice. So yeah, that was hard. A really close friend became Christian, and that was amazing. I've actually seen a lot of people become Christians this year. People from my sisters. Oh, and my sister got married too. Gosh, there's like so many things that happened this year. Like I said, it's felt like 3 years. So her cousin-in-law got saved, and then like a lot of people from her family are getting really open to God. And my cousin, one of my cousins, really got a lot closer to God this year, and so a lot of people have been coming to the Lord. It's just really amazing. So that's probably another one of my biggest joys. There's been a lot of really good things, even though it's been a hard year physically. It's been a really good year spiritually.
Okay, I'm trying to think of any other questions. What is a piece of advice that you have for the next year?
Okay, so 2 things. Approach life with humility and enthusiasm, and work with others from respect and not fear. That's something that I've been working on, because I can tend to be anxious in close relationships, and because of a lot of things that happened in the past. So I am working on respecting people, but not being fearful. And that's probably my biggest advice for myself. And also just with the humility and enthusiasm, I think those two things married together are like a perfect combination for really enjoying and embracing life for what it is, but also anticipating what it's going to be. So if I have humility, I am not, I don't think that I know better. I'm still going to be a learner. I am being, I'm being on an accessible level with people. But then enthusiasm keeps my zeal for God, for life, for learning, for just being productive and doing what God has called me to do. And I think that that's a great combination of things.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ashley from the future. I hope that you are doing well. And I look forward to the next interview for next year. It'll be another 365 days, and I'll talk at you again from the past to the future. All right. Have a great evening, everyone. I hope you have a safe night, and I hope you have a blast. And this is going to be for the end of 2020. So let's all hope that we had a great year, and we'll see you in the next year.
Bye, guys.